Well, Paul, your fate will be in your hands going into the final day. Could you have clinched it this afternoon, do you think?
Well, we could have, should have, would have. But we didn't, unfortunately. And I keep getting people telling me it's the Derby way to make life as difficult as possible, which is a right laugh. But I thought our play first half, the first 25 minutes we were scintillating, and I said to the lads after the game, like, of all the teams I've managed, that is the best 25 minutes I've ever seen. We played at a real tempo, created loads of gilt-edged chances, didn't take him, and unfortunately, if you don't take him, you're not going to be able to play like that for 90 minutes. You always get the opposition always going to create something, and they took their chance really well. Amazing header. It's probably the only inch of the goal that would have beat Joe. And then I thought it hit us bad. The lads looked like they sort of. I asked them at half time, and it's difficult for them to answer, obviously. But I couldn't decide if it was a psychological thing or a physical thing, or they were tired, or they played at such a tempo. But in fairness to Portsmouth, you have to give credit to them. They then got the wind in their sails, so to speak, and caused us problems. And Joe kept us in it. Made two really good saves. I mean, one from the corner, I thought it was in. I'd already told myself as he edited it was in. So the point is deserved praise to Joe as much as anyone else. But after they scored, like I kept trying to explain to him after the game, that there's still an hour to go. So, like, not tranquil as in go to sleep, but don't get too stressed. Just keep playing the way you're playing, and you'll give yourself an opportunity to get back into it. And it wasn't till late on, after we'd changed the shape and changed personnel, that Colo scored a screaming volley that was fitting to get us a point.
We talked in the week about maybe wanting other people to step up and help David McGoldrick in the goal charts, and James Collins was the man today. How big is that goal for him personally, with hopefully the playoffs around the corner?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, luckily today, I've got virtually a full fit squad. I made as many changes as I could. I think the only one I didn't put on was my goalie and Runes. So everyone's sort of football ready, which is good. And we've been playing with 1 up and 2 10s, and Didsy's been in frightening form. Colo would be the first to tell you. So he's been unfortunate; he hasn't had the game time he would like. But he came on today and scored, and loved the bit between his teeth. So it's good. That's what you want. You want all the players desperate to play, look forward to play, make all the right decisions all week, and we get an extra day's recovery, and we just have to, equal or better Peterborough's result next week. So, I did say to the lads, I don't know if you can have this on the record, but, they've got Barnsley away, you've got Sheffield Wednesday away, whoever has got the biggest kahunas wins. That's how I see it, and if our kahunas aren't big enough, then we don't deserve to be in the playoffs, and if we were, we weren't going to be good enough to win it. So, but I got a real trust in this group that they can play in the big games, and I think they'll look forward to playing at Hillsborough.
And if you'd been offered it, if someone said if it's in your hands final day, surely you'd have taken that.
Yeah, especially if I'd have seen the fixtures. I mean, it's a great easy finish to the season, isn't it? Yeah, I probably would have, in fairness. And like at one stage today, it could have been that we lost. Peterborough got a goal late on, and all of a sudden it's not in our hands. So I'm not being greedy. I just thought that the way the lads took to what we asked them to do today, the way they started the game was. I just thought it would have been a befitting end to a brilliant season for this football club at home. For, not an end, but last proper fixture for what this club's been through over the last 12 months, especially. That it would have been some game to win and to walk and do the lap of honour, whatever it's called. Lap of appreciation is possibly the better word. To do that, knowing we were in the playoffs, but it wasn't to be. And sometimes football isn't kind. And today, we got a point, which is better than nothing, but. The greedy part of me wants all of them.
Just finally, from me, I know you're a man that doesn't shy away from his emotions. How was the lap of appreciation for you?
Yeah, quite good. I mean, I it's funny. I was with Rich saying that the sad thing for me and Rich, and this is purely selfish, right? So, firstly, the fans who stayed, thank you very much. It means a lot to the lads. But that was us walking around with our kids when they were knee high, and now my son's drove to the game. He ain't coming down, is he? So that was a bit surreal. But then I saw a few of the lads look quite emotional, really. And for some of them, maybe that could potentially be the last time they play at Pride Park. And it hits you as a player. It does. So it was lovely. And everyone's obviously clapping the team. And it's a lot easier to do it if you haven't lost. It would have been, like I said, it would have been befitting the team if we could have won, got in the playoffs. It could have been amazing. But I think I'd like to think the fans appreciate how we try to play, how we try and win games, and how we're throwing everything at it. I mean, at times, second half, we were 2v2 at the back. Both our fullbacks were in the box. We did everything we could to try and get us another goal, but wasn't to be. But extra days rest and look forward to next week. And if the football gods are kind, we might have enough to have another couple of weeks' work.